Reimagine the possibilities of your potential. Growing up, I had a clear sense for what success looked like. Can't we all agree that for generations, the idea of success has primarily been attached to working hard? When we work hard enough, we can accomplish our goals, and then we'll be happy. As we begin our careers, we have hopes and dreams about what we'd like to achieve to become successful and find that happiness. I felt fortunate to begin my profession with a Fortune 100 company. Over a long career and as a senior level executive, I climbed the mountain and reached the peak. Often I was told by others that I had achieved success. And yet, on many days, I had such a strong feeling of emptiness. In these past 15 years, I've learned two big things about myself from that time. One, I was burned out from corporate America. And two, I had lost my sense of self and the happiness that life once held for me. So I left a job that was previously more than enough for me. I even imagined people from the outside looking in saying, "How can you say this isn't true success and happiness?" My answer, it didn't feel fun anymore. My 28-year marriage was also rapidly declining and ended not long after. That didn't feel fun either. And I'm sure if you ask my ex-husband, he would agree. While we're friends today, the divorce was a sad relief. I'm sure I'm not alone in experiencing the uncertainty and void of endings like marriages and jobs. How many of you have ever felt that way? How many of you have ever been in this position? You were so unhappy with something going on in your life that you ran away and avoided the truth, all because you were unhappy and you do, only to find yourself in the same old unhappy place again and again and again. And perhaps, and without realizing it was all of that action that was causing all of that unhappiness. Well, I experienced that, and it made me sick. I was a big doer, and when I finally was honest with myself, I admitted that all of that frantic action was just me looking for happiness outside of myself. And yet, another more loving part of me nudged me to work on myself, the inside of myself, because I needed a lot of work. First, it came in a whisper, and I listened to my heart. And then I started meditating again. And I found an amazing counselor and a gifted teacher. And I read a lot of books, all leading me to feel more love. My argument to you today is this. I believe that there is a connection linking everyone and everything in our most basic way. It is gentle yet powerful. It is a beautiful presence within us that is us. And I believe as human beings, we can be magnificent generators of love. This is not the first time that the topic of oneness and connection has been discussed in a TED or TEDx talk. The TED Talk, A Stroke of Insight, by Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor, has 23 million people who have seen it. It resonates with me. And I believe that there are a lot of people who agree with this perspective. What she says is this: we are energy beings connected to one another through the consciousness of our right brain hemispheres as one human family. She also says this, I am one with all that is. And in her book of the same title, she explains this. Although many of us think of ourselves as thinking creatures that feel, biologically, we are feeling creatures that think. Why is this important to consider? As a feeling being, I am in charge of how I feel. I can choose to feel love at any moment and feel good. My experience is that the more love I feel, the calmer my mind becomes. And the calmer my mind becomes, the more my imagination expands. And it grows with creativity and curiosity and clarity. There's a sense of connectedness and wholeness with everyone around me. It's as though my imagination is expanding and allowing me to create a more joyful life with more ease and grace. So I'd like to share with you 5 simple tenets that led me to having fun again and creating joyful success. Tenet 1, live and lead from love. Open your heart to loving yourself and then equally to others. A few months after my divorce was finalized, a health crisis struck. After previously having had a procedure called a uterine ablation, my heavily bleeding fibroids returned, and I was anemic. My doctor recommended surgery within 2 weeks, or if I did nothing, I could possibly die. The old me would have felt such fear and immediately scheduled the surgery. But I made a radical choice. I paused and listened to my intuition. I decided to create a foundation of authentic happiness. I committed to feeling more love every day by being kinder, more compassionate, forgiving, and less judgmental. Opening my heart to me first allowed me to feel more nurtured and lighthearted and trusting. And then I noticed something. When I felt good, all around me, others felt good. There was a ripple effect. Tenet 2, trust in the generosity of the universe. Our lifeline to it is love. I believed that surgery was not the course of action for me. At the time, I told no one, though, because I thought they would think I was crazy. So I trusted that there was another way. Now, while that was my decision, I would never tell you or anyone else what to do. We must all make our own choices. Tenet 3, be still. Tap into your inner guidance system. A couple of days after the doctor's news, I had an urge to meditate. And after 5 minutes of quiet breathing, my heart still feeling sadness and longing for joy and connection, I said to myself, I surrender. Please show me the way. And I felt a sense of warmth around my heart. And the worry kind of melted away, and I felt that everything was going to be okay. And then a wonderful sense of peace came over me. Within 2 weeks, I met 4 people who reinforced for me everything I had been learning about love, gratitude, joy, calm, and the oneness of everything. Tenet 4, imagine your heart's desires with loving intention. One of the 4 people I met was Nancy. After one session, during one session with her, I focused on releasing the sorrow and pain of my marriage and feeling more love and gratitude for me and the essence of me and my inner child self. In the quiet of my mind, I joyfully pictured myself in good health again, and I committed to actions that I could take. Tenet 5, celebrate, feel the joy of it, and be grateful. The symptoms were gone. The bleeding stopped, the fibroids had disappeared, and I was in good health again. I was overjoyed with gratitude. After all, isn't joy the purpose we all seek? At the same time, I was in shock. How was this possible? My rational mind had no way of knowing how or why it happened as it did. And there was no medical explanation for why my extreme condition changed so quickly. Many researchers would tell us that my body's DNA kicked in and I healed. They would also tell us that this outcome didn't have anything to do with love, gratitude, joy, or the calm of my mind. My argument, though, is that something else was going on. Some of the brightest scientific minds in the health and wellness industry have said that positive emotions and meditation can have a positive impact on physical self-repair. For example, in his TED Talk, Reinventing the Body, Dr. Deepak Chopra explains the impact of meditation and emotional well-being on our bodies this way. With meditation, he says, the genome starts to express itself differently. There are genes that promote homeostasis of self-regulation or self-repair. And when we experience emotions like joy and peace, empathy and compassion, hormones like oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, and opiates are released, and they enhance self-repair. You might ask then, what's new about what I have to say? I have a unique perspective and experience. This unforgettable experience led me to believe that there is likely more to our human capacity than I ever imagined, and to who I fathom I really am within this oneness of everything. And from corporate leader to seeker of knowledge, I am passionate about understanding and experiencing the true potential, the true extent of our human potential, especially as it relates to the power of love and calm in creating authentic happiness and joyful success in our lives. I ask you to contemplate this supposition. As feeling beings, what if we are creating our lives based on how we feel? And what if we feel lots of love and it takes us to our superpower, a calm mind? And what if in that stillness, we have the potential to create wonderful things for ourselves and others as we tap into that greater consciousness of our right brain hemispheres that connect us as one human family? So, to conclude, what I would tell this former self of mine who wore the costume of others' expectations is that I believe that it is possible at any point in our lives to create whatever our loving and calm mind, body, heart, and soul truly desires. I often hear, change is hard and it's uncomfortable. I see it differently. Why? Love. Really, how uncomfortable is it to feel more love? Who doesn't want to feel more love and the inherent joy that comes with it? I believe that we are born to feel love. I believe that we can create a life that we love. So I ask you, through love and calm, what might you do to take your life to another level of authentic happiness and joyful success? I offer you this. Here's a simple action that you can commit to practicing for just 5 minutes every day at the beginning or end of your day. Reflect on how you can feel more love in your life. You may start by putting your hand on your heart and taking a deep breath. Then ask yourself this question: what is the wisdom of my heart telling me? Then live from that place of insight today. Thank you very much.